So I was talking with a YouTube user, Koa Crew 23, maybe, about how I had another presentation coming up today. I actually practiced this time. I've been wanting to try that. Lately, in college at least, I've just been not practicing so much, just kind of BSing things like I do. I'm just good at that, you know, like writing papers and stuff. I'll wait until a day or two before and write it all out. And it usually ends up being fine. Yeah, it was a group presentation. One of our group members wasn't there, the guy who was supposed to go first, and then I was second. I was supposed to go after him, and he wasn't there. And so our group went out into the hall he said we could go out into the hall for 15 minutes and figure out, you know, what we were going to do, how we were going to split it up or whatever. And I hadn't told the group yet that I had a stutter, and I really wanted to do that just to take some of the stress off. And so I was really glad that we got to go out in the hall, because we hadn't really met much. It was mostly just talking through email and stuff, and I felt awkward emailing them and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a stutter. I wanted to tell them in person. And so that was nice that we had that meeting out in the hall. And the guy ended up showing up, like, almost right after we got out there. So we're like, okay, who's gonna do what? Oh, there he comes. He got stuck in traffic or something. So that was good. And yeah, I managed to tell them that I have a stutter. It's always awkward when I'm like, I have and it takes me so long to get a stutter out. It's like the time they're like trying to figure out what I'm trying to say that I have. Like, I was holding my paper and looking at it because I didn't know where else to look, and they came around to stand next to me to, like, look at see what I was looking at, trying to help me. Finally got out stuttering. They're like, oh! Whatever, don't worry about it. They were all super nice and, like, really encouraging. Like, yeah, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. Okay, yeah, you're right, it'll be fine. I mean, and anyway, the first guy who went just lightened the mood a lot, and I felt it was easier to start. I was like, okay, so there are 4 common attitudes of hosts toward tourists, and then I got stuck because there were a couple R words, like resistance and retreatism, that were hard to say. Today, I mean, I had like 3 main points, and I skipped a couple parts in my first point, just like ridicule, I had to say, and I kind of skipped over that, and I was just taking a long time getting through that first point, and so I kind of skipped a few things to speed it up. But, I mean, I got into the groove a little bit more in the second and third ones, and near the end of the third one, I managed to start talking slowly and just, you know, hitting each word, and it became easier right near the end. But anyway, I realized today, more concretely than before, that my definition of success, as far as like a success story with stuttering, has changed a lot since high school. I had to give a lot more presentations in high school, and trying to get out of things, you know, was never an option in high school. I mean, I feel like teachers were a lot stricter in high school than they are in college, where they don't let you, there's no alternatives in high school. And so I always had to give a presentation, and it was always embarrassing. You know, I almost always had trouble, but then every once in a while when I would do really great, where people, you almost couldn't tell I had a stutter just for some reason. Maybe I had practiced a lot or something, but for some reason it came out really smooth, like, as smooth as I can get, you know, just talking to my friend or something. And there were a couple instances like that I looked at specifically, like, you know, where I gave a 10-minute persuasive speech in history, and it was brilliant. Like, I was going off of, like, 3 index cards, and I had to circle around the room, and, like, I started off with a quote, and it was a little rough, but once I got going, it was just, like, I was really casual. I was, you know, connecting with the class, and, like, it was really easy, and went really smoothly. And I just hadn't had any experiences like that in college. I know I have days like that where it's just easier to talk than it is other times, but that, I mean, I can't keep waiting for those and just hoping. I mean, I don't anymore define how successful my talking, you know, presentations or something. I don't necessarily define those anymore by how fluent I was necessarily, or how, you know, little I stuttered. But that, I mean, the fact that I got up there, I managed to get up there and say what I wanted to say, is a success for me.